Today we're going to look at the most underrated MTG removal for less than $2.99. I'm going to start off with Eaten by Piranhas. Now, the Merfolk community have known that I've been pretty high on this card for quite some time, especially in Pioneer. It is a blue 1 generic aura. Now, it's got Flash. And it may not be like the perfect removal spell, but it will remove your creature on the battlefield. Because when you enchant the creature, enchanted creature loses all abilities and is now replaced by a black skeleton creature with the base power and toughness 1/1. So it goes into a bit of a metamorphosis transformation. But the point is, you don't got your creature on the battlefield. And I think actually this is particularly good in Commander because what would a Commander player love most when their commander is targeted? They actually prefer that it dies. And it goes back to the command zone. But I'm sorry, you're trapped on the battlefield. We're not trapped with that commander. Your commander is trapped with us. It's been eaten by piranhas. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at... Okay, Jasper Rab's going for Chandler. I don't know if that's below $3. It is below $3. Okay, for 5 mana, 3/3 for triple red. Destroy target artifact creature. So you got an artifact. You know what? Constructs are popular. Urza's Saga, it's going up big time. We need Chandler to deal with those construct tokens. Deals with all each construct token you make. Chandler can deal with each one every single turn. Magic Vinyl with Defile. Defile is a black instant. Target creature gets -1/-1. Ooh, for each, until end of turn, for each swamp you control. Have we ever heard of Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth? Pretty good combo with the Defile. I like this card because very early on in the game, if you have 1-2 swamps, you're going to kill off the small creatures coming out early. But late in the game, you could even drain you go -10/-10 on a big giant demon or dragon. I like it. All right, King Ginger with the first super chat of the day. Thank you very much. Turn to swine. I remember I had a friend who was completely paranoid. Is it turn to swine? It's something swine. No, it's curse of the swine. I know what you're talking about. You would think it's called turn to swine. We are turning things into swine. I know what you're talking about, though. I'm familiar with this card. The blue X sorcery. Exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green boar creature token. So you turn in the creatures into little piggies. I had a friend who just flipped out about this card. They thought it was broken. It's like, it exiles. It's like the creatures are never gonna come back. And you can do it to any number of creatures you want. They're like, I felt like they were just gonna quit the game over this card. I'm like, this isn't that good. It's not, but whatever. It's underrated. Blue doesn't have a whole lot of removal available. We got to take what they give us around here. All right, next up, let's take a look at Michael Ing with Reprisal. We gotta take what they give us around here. Reprisal is a 2-mana instant. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater and can't be regenerated. You better believe that people don't play the small stuff anymore. They only playing the big stuff. You're gonna be prepared for the big stuff. It's basically Doomblade in white for any of the large creatures. Okay, Eric says paying a lot for Flash, but they can still block to destroy it. The can't block or attack ones are way better. Oh, I don't know which one you're talking about here. Did you list a card? Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at... Is Assassin's Trophy really underrated at this point? Maybe. This was a really big card when it first came out. I would assume this is pretty stock, though. I would assume that this is pretty stock in all decks. We need underrated stuff. Cool underrated cards. I've never heard of this one. Jeffrey with Feed the Serpent. Assassin's Trophy is it's sort of a global removal spell. You can destroy anything. Feed the Serpent is a 4-mana instant. Exile target creature, planeswalker. It's cheap. That'll give it. The key, though, is that it can hit the planeswalkers. A lot of removal just hits the creatures. What if you need like a what's it called? Not murderous something. Damn, there's a murder that eats planeswalkers that's attached to an adventure creature. That's what you need around here. You need Feed the Serpent. The serpent will eat Jace. Loves the taste of Jace. Tastes like chicken, says the serpent. Okay, Elixir with Tail's End. Tail's End's not a removal spell. Right? I think it's a counter spell. Sorry about that. Otherwise, I would say it's pretty... and it's just below $3. Just below $3. Okay, we got Pavu, Victim of Night. Ooh. One of my favorite for casual play. The black instant. Destroy target non-vampire, non-werewolf, non-zombie creature. Still hits a lot of creature spells. What are the odds? You're going to be up against another vampire, werewolf, and zombie deck. The odds cannot be that great. Impossible. Nikachu, how have you been? And Feed the Serpent. We just did the Feed the Serpent. Wow, Feed the Serpent is like super popular amongst the underrated crowd. We got Overly Critical Anime with Baleful Mastery. This is a 4-mana instant. You may pay black 1 generic rather than pay the spell's mana cost. If the black 1 generic was paid, an opponent may draw a card. Exile target creature or planeswalker. You don't mind. Hey, look. Especially if your opponent cracked treasure tokens, sacrificed a creature, maybe discarded a card from their hand, played a ritual to get their creature on the battlefield, you don't mind them getting a little bit of value because you already know that they lost a bunch of value to get that damn thing in play. And in the next metagame, more people are going to be playing with like Mana Vault, Grim Monolith. They're going to be playing with things that they like tap, they spend resources. And you know what? If they draw a card, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. They're still behind. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Erlindraw, Heartless Act. So this is actually a pretty common... I don't know if that's what this is in Commander, but this is a pretty common removal spell, I think, in Legacy, I think? I want to say I see it in Legacy. It's a 2-mana instant. Choose one. Destroy target creature with no counters on it, and then remove up to... Oh, no, okay. I'm thinking of something else. Remove up to 3 counters from target creature, I guess. I'm confusing this with another card. I think I'm confusing this with, like, Shieldred's Edict or something. King Ginger reminds us, Assassin's Trophy used to be a $25 card. That's what happens when you reprint the crap out of it. That's for sure. That's what happens when you reprint the crap out of it. Jess is like, are we doing Canadian $2.99 or American? American. We're doing American. If you can find me anything under $2.99, it's going to count. Okay, next super chat we got from Magic Vinyl. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thraben Charm. Such good removal with utility. I'm starting to see this card. I got nailed by this the other day. It's a white 1 generic instant. Deals damage equal to twice the number of creatures you control the target creature. Yeah, this is actually just breaking. Just started seeing some modern play. It can also destroy target enchantment and exile any number of target players' graveyards. So a lot of utility to this. I mean, it's literally... It's like it's like somewhere between disenchant and graveyard hate, while also randomly being a removal spell. Pretty unbelievable. You get all those things in one shot. Next up, Christopher B with Archfiend of Ifnir. Oh my god, this card. Now, when this card came out, I hated this card. Because it just kills off all my stupid little creatures. It's a 5-mana 5/4 demon with flying. But if you cycle or discard another card, you put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponent's control. Like, it's not even yours. It's not, so basically, you start discarding and cycling. You put it in a cyclish deck. So basically, this is a insane win condition. Just mopped my merfolk up so badly. Glad I don't see it so much, but yeah, in the right deck, it is an absolute one-sided beating. Absolute one-sided beating. Next up, let's look at the Big Squig, Rebel Salvo. Rebel Salvo. I have no idea what that is. It is a 3-mana instant, affinity for equipment. Well, this is going to be very underrated, probably because most people don't play that much equipment. It deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That permanent loses indestructible until end of turn. It's for the people, who love equipment, also for the people who hate indestructible. You know, you get one or the other. Indestructible, one of the most frustrating mechanics for all Commander players. Also one of the most seeked out MTG mechanics for creatures. What is, typing it to Scryfall, what is every creature possible that has indestructible? I need it for my deck, because I'm tired of other people destroying my creatures. How unfair. But the red, they can deal with it for some reason. Sometimes indestructible isn't indestructible enough. Okay, next up, Super Chat. Let's take, I think Baleful Mastery is very under... I think we did... Oh, we got sniped over that one. Sorry about that, King Ginger. Did you have another one? I think you had another one. Devour in Shadow. It is a black instant. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated, but you lose life equal to that creature's toughness. Hey, you got 40 life in Commander. Oh, you got 40 life. You gotta pay life. Use it as a resource. I didn't really put that right. I was supposed to say you're supposed to like pay life to make life, but no, you got 40 life. Use it as a resource. Very nice, versatile removal spell. Dr. Nemo with Humble. That's a removal spell? Oh, okay. 2 mana instant. Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and has base power and toughness 0/1. So the way you really want to be using a card like this is when the opponent attacks, you go like, bam, humble. You're humbled now. You're just a pathetic 0/1 creature, and you block it and then it dies. Opponent's not going to be very happy to see this one. That's a got him card. That's a huge got him. Aspie is like, once again, incongruity. You love that card. Some of you love posting stuff like this. So this is a 2-sided card. Now, we want to talk about the removal side. For a green, blue, 1 generic, it does exile target creature, and then they get a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token. But it's also like a super ponder, because for a green or a blue sorcery, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. So go dig for the good stuff. Should I be playing this in Merfolk? I totally forgot this card existed. I could look for that Harbinger of the Seas. This is getting me thinking, honestly, chat. I forgot this card. I'm gonna take a look at this. Modern players, be scared. Look for that Harbinger of the Seas with this thing. Diabolic Edict. Is that underrated now? It used to be just a staple. Maybe it's just power crept out of the game now. Target player sacks a creature. Yeah, you. 1 creature in play? Get it out of here. So long. It's definitely been power. Like, there's Shieldred's Edict, so I think that's a strictly better Diabolic Edict by today's standards. Standard with Duress is not removal. It's hand disruption. It's hand disruption. Elixir, the weight of conscience. It's heavy. In Token's deck, it's A-OK. I don't blame you. 2 mana aura. Enchanted creature can't attack. Now tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share a creature type. Remove enchanted creature from the game. Hey, look. It's gone. Let me show you a little magic trick. That is actually incredibly underrated. It's just basically 2 mana exile target creature. $2.99 Canadian. No, it's $2.99 American. So you do the conversion. This is like a very light conversion. So $2.99 American times 1.35. It's more or less what the conversion. So it can be up to $4 Canadian. Up to 4. Hexenort, this is one of the best like removal spells now in sideboards. And it's probably really good in Commander too. There's no way that thing is Reality Shift also sees play in every blue deck, Bryce. Too good. Those cards are too good for this show. We need worse, underrated cards. Cards people don't play. The hell is this one? Whoops. Swords to Plowshares. Okay, I like that one. Burst Lightning. For 1 mana, it deals 1 damage. For 5 mana, so when we get to the late game, when we have a lot of mana, it can deal 4 damage. But also, it goes straight to face. All right, you don't have to kill creatures. You can try to kill your opponent. Get them off the battlefield. Next up, we got Dangerous One with the Dwarven Miner. That's no moon. This is interesting. Okay, we have a 2 mana 1/2 for 3 mana. Tap, destroy. Wow, destroy target non-basic land. Instant speed Ponza. It's like, is it like Dust Bowl? Except we don't sack a land. This is actually, I think this is incredibly underrated. This will really screw with people. The only problem with this card is like everyone's going to be nervous that it's on the battlefield, so everyone has an incentive to basically get rid of it. Next up, we've got Georth, Tragic Slip. I think this is one of the most underrated removal spells, especially in black. Black instant, target creature gets -1/-1. But oh no! If I slipped and fell and died, or something else died, we can give another creature -13/-13 instead. That is big. That's a very big drop. Some of my underrated removal is over $3. No good then. Save it for the underrated removal, whatever. We have Zach with Scar, the OG Orcish Bowmasters. You have got my curiosity. What is this? You want to know how I got these scars? Damn it, there's too many cards called Scar. Scar Blade, Scar. There we go, I found it. Took me long enough. It's a black-red instant. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Oh, it puts the counter. So it's actually just permanently smaller. I can't tell if this is actually underrated. I will give you this. Like, hey, if you have a proliferate deck, it might look like a -1/-1 now, but you give it time, and it's gonna grow, and it's gonna grow and consume you like a leech or something. Flavor-wise, I don't see how a Scar would be permanently damaging you. Like, the whole thing is that it's sort of healed. It's just an aesthetic blemish. Ecos with Submerge. Budget removal, 0 mana 80% of the time. That's very interesting. I think for Commander, this probably is an incredibly underrated card. 5 mana instant. If an opponent controls a forest and you control an island, you can play this thing for free. No money down. Do not need to take out a loan. Put target creature on top of its owner's library. So especially if your opponent is tutoring for something, they crack a fetch land, they play a tutor, they have to search a library for whatever reason. That's the moment you get them with the Submerge. They won't see it coming, and then all of a sudden, it's basically like a free removal spell to your opponent. Gourmet says, Scars can be bad enough to permanently affect movement. Okay. You know what? I believe you. I believe you. Okay, Magic Vinyl. Unmake. If you need a cheaper Anguish unmaking. Unmake. Who needs to make when we unmake around here? Oh, this one! Yeah, and it can be played in, you know, black or white decks. Just our exile target creature. We all know about exiling. Exiling, strictly better than destroying. Strictly better. Okay, SHG. Has Earthbind already been mentioned? No, we have not. I don't know. Is this a removal spell? I don't even know what this card does. Well, we all know this card for its art. Let's look at this. Okay, Earthbind deals 2 damage to target flying creature, which also loses flying ability. I have a feeling this is not that underrated. It's literally it's like a shock. It's a significantly worse shock. This has got to be very accurately rated. Does this help anything else? If cast on flying creature, Earthbind removes flying ability and does 2 damage to target creature. This damage occurs only once at time of Earthbind is cast. If another spell or effect later gives target creature flying ability, Earthbind does not affect this. Earthbind has no effect on non-flying creatures. I can't believe they had to explain all that. Something charming about the old templating to cards. Something very charming. I don't think this is I don't think this is underrated. I think this is very accurately rated. Is a slightly strictly better shock, but there are many strictly better shocks after that. Evan, we did Victim of Night. It's great. That was a fantastic card. Okay, let's take a look at a super chat from Ecos. Mog Salvage. For free, if opponent runs an island. Oh, you like these free cards. Not enough people play these cards. I have a feeling no one even knows these cards exist. It's a 3-mana instant. If an opponent controls an island and you control a mountain, you may cast this spell without paying its mana cost. Destroy target artifact. Like, okay, what are the odds no one has a single island? Not very good. So basically, you've got a free shatter in your hand. I think this is a excellent card. You know, these cards are just basically like those free spells for commander if you control a commander, except they need to control like a land. For Ginkgo, the Dark Offering. I don't think we did this one. What is this? Oh, this is 6 mana. Sorcery. Destroy target non-black creature. You gain 3 life. That is a very expensive Lightning Helix. Can you just play like Drain Life instead? Destroy. Oh no, but no, this actually just literally kills the creature on the spot. That's what it does. Brian Harris with ossification. Not classification, ossification. 2 mana aura. You enchant basic land you control. All right. My basic land is mine. When ossification enters the battlefield, exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until ossification leaves the battlefield. This is an amazing card. This is like pretty good hard removal for 2 mana. I like this card a lot. Of course, someone can destroy the damn ossification, but who would do that? Who would blow up your ossification? Okay, let's take a look at James Hansen. Abstruse Appropriation. What do we have here? Okay, so this is 4 mana for an instant. It's got Devoid. Exile target non-land permanent. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend colorless mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. That is also a banger card. Basically, removal and card advantage all in one. Your card is mine now. Christopher B loves the Jund Charm. People have forgotten the power of the Jund Charm. Red, black, and green. Choose one. Exile cards from target player's graveyard. Or, Jund Charm deals 2 damage to each creature. That's instant speed Pyroclasm. And then, or you can put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. I think this is also an incredibly underrated card. Okay, super chats are rolling in. Did I get your card, James? Did I just do this one? I gave that super chat sound effect. Or was this another one? Let me look. You're supposed to write with the super chat. Oh, I did get yours. Okay, good. Or maybe you were just donating afterwards. You were just happy that I acknowledged you. Absolutely, I did. Okay, we'll move on to King Ginger. Does Karmic Justice count? Not then donate. I always find that if anyone has to ask a question, 80% of the time, they're right. Or like, it doesn't qualify. Well, let's take a look at this one. It's a 3 mana enchantment. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls destroys a non-creature permanent you control, you may destroy target permanent that player controls. That absolutely counts. You come after my stuff, I come after your stuff. That is justice. Justice in this world. You gotta think twice. It's the ultimate insurance. The ultimate insurance policy. Against anyone BSing with what I'm trying to do around here. The charms are very underrated. Okay, Bryce, Avon Interrupter. 3 mana for a 2/2 flying and flash. ETB, exile target spell. It becomes plotted. This is more of a counter spell. Not removal. It's not your day, Bryce. It's not your day. Piracy Charm? Rare removal in blue. So a blue instant, target creature gains Island Walk until end of turn, or target creature gets +2/-1 until end of turn, and then target player discards a card. So like for all the creatures out there that have 1 toughness, yeah, Piracy Charm will just randomly get them. And also, or it could be a buff spell, you know, you can shrink somebody's stuff, or you can buff your own stuff. One or the other, it's gonna work. Oh my god, hello. I think Aura Shards is an incredibly well played card. I don't think this is an underrated card. I think this is... Oh, also, it's not even $3. It's like $8 because it's so well played. It's, Horror Shards is sick. Yeah, it's so sick. It's played by everybody. It's not underrated. Also very, very, very expensive. You gotta take a loan out to buy this card. We got Juha here. Binding of the Old Gods. It's good for Commander since it replaces itself. Binding the Old Gods. We're gonna bind the gods together. So this is a 4-mana saga. Chapter 1, destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. That's it. Pays for itself after that. And then Chapter 2, search your library for a forest card. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. We got more real estate. And then Chapter 3, creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Be wary of our creatures around here. Next up... Eugenio with Scred. Scred red instant deals damage to target creature equal to the number of snow permanents you control. So yeah, longer the game goes, the more damage you deal. I think this is an excellent. This is like this is like $3. It's like a little over the $3 limit, but you know what? In like used laundry, been through the laundry condition, it's gonna work out quite fine. Okay, Elixir. We got Walk. Oh, Walk the Plank. You're absolutely right. So, double black, sorcery. Unfortunately, sorcery, but destroy target non-merfolk creature. Sorry, everyone. I have hexproof from this card, more or less. But for anyone that's not a merfolk, for some reason, if you're an octopus, you're gonna die. If you're like an octopus, a shark, like it will kill them for some reason. This is one of the greatest flavor fail removal spells of all time. Yeah, it works on fish too. Okay, Walk the Plank, you fish. I don't know, maybe they die on impact. For one reason or another. Okay, we've got just once Oblivion Ring. Isn't this like a card that they've reprinted 100 billion times? I guess it's underrated. I mean, it will remove any other non-land permanent from the battlefield for 3 mana. You know, I believe you can also do some janky stuff. You target it in response to the target, blink your Oblivion Ring, then you hit something else. So when you build around Oblivion Ring, it is most certainly underrated. Ecos, thanks so much for your super chat. With food getting better and easier to make, Asmorano. You could be right. Asmorano was a hotly played card when it first came out. And then it like just sort of fell off the earth because it was like, well, this card's harder to build around than we thought. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a card named the Underworld Cookbook, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Sack 2 foods, target creature deals 6 damage to itself. Stop hitting yourself. Especially for 6 damage. I think one of the biggest problems with Asmo just by itself is you committed a lot of resources to your deck to, you know, have this great removal engine, but the deck wasn't particularly good at winning the game by itself, so it sort of fell off a cliff. But is a very good removal spell. Right? I've faced this stupid card a million times. It just blows me away. Asmorano, Mardukadasna Kuldakar. I know how to pronounce it. All right. There was like a good 2 hours that I was practicing it when it came out until I perfected it. I'm a content creator. I need to know how to pronounce Asmorano Mardukadasna Kuldakar around here without skipping a beat. And it's like riding a bike. I can't forget from here. Maddie Matson, Pestilence. Just good old-fashioned Pestilence. 4 mana enchantment. At the end of turn, if there's nothing left in play, you gotta sack it. But you can pay a black to deal 1 damage to each creature and each player. Just make sure you have indestructible stuff, and it's not a problem. We're gonna take a look at more underrated removal for less than $3. But we gotta thank our sponsors right now. We gotta thank FusionGamingOnline.com. All hail FusionGamingOnline.com with their and every week the good the good graces of Fusion Gaming gives us a deal every week. This week, it's 15% off the Lorwyn Morningtide singles. Of course, if you also want to get your underrated removal, you can go get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. Get the stuff that's less than $3. And if it's over $3, well, I got some good news for you. You can use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all those purchases. Maybe we can get down to that $2.99 range. Although if you do that, I'm sure the Canadian taxes will buff it up a bit over that. But that's okay. FusionGamingOnline.com. Coupon code Nikachu. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Your ability to play any deck, any format, also any price point. I mean, if you're looking for budget, you don't need to be at a budget when you're renting with Mana Traders. Or you can rent within the budget that you want. Maybe some cards are expensive, the rest is cheap, and that's fine when you're renting with Mana Traders. To play on Magic Online, you can play Dual Commander, Commander, Modern, Pioneer, Standard, Legacy, Vintage, and more. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP. And back to the removal. We all love removal. It's the ad. That's right. Is this a removal spell? Dark Salvation? I thought that was a tutor. Henrik. Oops, I looked up the Derek Salvation. Black XX sorcery. Oh, target player creates X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. I hope that's me. And then up to 1 target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn for each zombie that player controls. I think this is fantastic. This is a fantastic zombie card. You're a zombie player? Why not build up your board and snipe off some creature of your opponents at the same time? Next, we got Dangerous One with the Gem Palm Incinerator. It's a 3-mana 2/1 goblin with cycling for 2 mana. So if it's really bad, you can just cash it in. When you cycle Gem Palm Incinerator, you may have it deal X damage to target creature, where X is the number of goblins on the battlefield. Oh, this is such a coincidence. So we just looked at the zombie. Is this like the zombie version of this? It feels like it. It's like, okay, for as many zombies you have on the battlefield, you can kill something. For as many goblins you have on the battlefield, you can kill something. Where's my merfolk version, Wizards of the Coast? Where I have as much merfolk I have on the battlefield, I can also kill something, or I guess, or put it back into their deck. That feels like strictly better removal. Erland loves this card. Puts straight in the goblin deck. Benjamin, sudden death. Why so sudden? Okay, we have a 3-mana instant. It's got split second. Oh, it is sudden. You won't even see it coming. You're dead. You're dead before you even know you're dead. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. Sorry, fellas, I don't use the stack. Make sure you don't target anything that will trigger something on the stack, and then the stack all of a sudden happens. Ooh, this is a really good one. I don't think nearly enough people play Dead of Winter Beanpot. Black 2 generic sorcery. All non-snow creatures get -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of snow permanents you control. So you build a snow deck, you just watch everyone else melt under the snow. Like, I don't even... Like, it takes maybe a little bit of building around, but it's not that bad. One-sided board wipes are insanely powerful. I think this is worth building around. Darkstar Ashura with Drown in the Lock. Okay, well, I don't know. I really don't know where this card is positioned in Commander. This is an incredibly heavily played card in competitive Magic. It is under $3, though. Maybe Commander players don't love this enough. Black-blue instant. Choose one. Counter target spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of cards in its controller's graveyard. And destroy target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of cards in its controller's graveyard. I can imagine that this card is harder to use in Commander because you can't necessarily force people to have stuff in their graveyard. In the right environment, like maybe people don't have fetch lands because they're pricey and expensive. In competitive Magic, you only have one opponent. It's really easy to get more stuff in their graveyard because you're like hitting them with hand disruption, you're killing their creatures, and it just automatically turns Drown in the Lock on. is a really efficient spell in that manner. But I would say, even if you're not playing it early, very good late game play to act as a counterspell for anything that has ETB triggers, or you can destroy anything on the battlefield. Next up, we got West Coast Games with Boomer Staple Neck. If it's a staple, how is it underrated? I don't know if either of these is Necrotal. Skyclave Apparition is also definitely not underrated. 4 mana, first strike, ETB, destroy target, a non-artifact, non-black creature. That creature can't be regenerated. It seems very pathetic. Pathetic enough that I don't know if it's a staple. It's common black removal. All right. Gonna have to try another one, West Coast Games. Not underrated enough for this show. Next up, we're gonna look at Bryce. Pest Control. Should count. This is over $3. Also, I think it's just an instant staple, so I'm gonna have to say no to this one. I'm gonna donate your super chat. We'll give it to Leslian with Exorcise. It is a 2-mana sorcery. Exile target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. Maybe, hold on. Maybe I should be giving Pest Control a little bit more credit. I don't know, dude. Maybe, I don't know if this is standard yet amongst all decks. It is like a newish card. It's in Mythic, which makes it like, it's like $4-ish right now. You know, I think I take it back. I think this card might be underrated. It's just like, it's a Mythic rare. It's $4 because it's low on supply. There are some competitive decks that play it, but like that's it. It's just a few. Oh, what's going on here? What kind of pests are these? It's like half rat, half squirrel or something. So I think I'm gonna take it back. This thing counts. Although it's a little pricey, a smidge pricey. Have you says Boomer Staple equals D tier removal in 2024. Yeah, basically. Boomer. Just a random age. Chain Lightning or Lava Coil. Interesting. You want to play this in Commander. It's a red sorcery. You'll deal 3 damage to any target. And then that player, they can pay double red. And if that player does, they can copy the spell and may choose a new target for the copy. Do you want, if you're not up against a red deck, it's completely useless to them. Benjamin says it's half rat, half squirrel. Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I said. Well, I mean, let's take a closer look here. Like, am I not wrong? Or is it just squirrels? I don't feel like they've got a posture of a rat, though. I don't know. Maybe it's just a squirrel. Okay, next up. Evan Scott. Does Ixodron and Mystifying Maze count as removal? I can count Ixodron. Ixodron, 5 mana Star Illusion. As it enters the battlefield, turn all other non-token creatures face down. And then its power and toughness are each equal to the number of face down creatures on the battlefield. Wow, all of them, including the opponents. It's not gonna be good if there's a well, that's funny. If you're up against a token deck, you might actually upgrade all their creatures by accident. Rasmus, Dreams of Steel and Oil. The hell kind of dream is that? I love dreaming about oil and the oil fields. It's great. I swim in oil. It's a black sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact. Whoops. You choose an artifact or creature from it, then choose an artifact or creature card from their graveyard. Exile those cards. This is a very interesting card. This is not a removal spell. This is hand disruption. I would just not. I think this is a really cool card. I just wouldn't consider this a removal spell. That's all. Yeah, it's a Phyrexian dream. They dream about Texas. Black gold. Got to oil their machinery parts somehow. Colossal Dreadmaw is player removal? No, it is not. We did Pest Control. I disqualified it and then went back and I said, you know what? This card's okay. It's actually okay. Let's Matt spread culling ritual. How is that removal? Oh, it is. It's not actually a ritual. It's just a name. It's a 4-mana sorcery. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. Oh, it's not just a name. Oh, that's great. I think this is a fantastic card. You get half removal, half ritual at the same time. Okay, next super chat. We got Magic Vinyl with Crackling Doom. I don't think anyone knows this card exists. This is one of those types of cards that sort of get lost in time. It's a black, white, red instant. It deals 2 damage to each opponent, and then each opponent sacks a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls, which is always going to be their best creature. Anyway, I think this is a slam dunk card. Surefire Selves. So I have talked to some Arcades Doran Commander players like Aligned, Hedron, Network? 4-mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, exile all creatures with power 5 or greater until Aligned Hedron Network leaves the battlefield. Oh, it's like a super Oblivion Ring. Yeah, it's a super Oblivion Ring for all the big stuff. Big and amazing. Oh, bounce it. Trying to get a second card here. Early Winter. Is that removal? Oh, it's a new card. 5-mana instant. Exile target creature or target opponent exiles an enchantment they control. I guess you just target them. Okay, Darkstar Shura. Splinter. What is that from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret Lair? Especially funny if combined with liquid metal coating that targeted a basic land, but it still works on its own. Okay, we got a 4-mana sorcery. Remove target artifact from the game. Search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for all cards with the same name as that artifact and remove them from the game. Oh, interesting. Oh, but how you don't really combo with liquid metal coating. I mean, it'll happen once. Okay, I get this is better in a one-on-one game where you have 4 copies of the card. In Commander, a lot less powerful. Although, like you said, it's possible to liquid metal coating, turn things into artifacts, and then you can exile anything. Tommy. Ashes to Ashes. Damn it, Scryfall. Ashes to Ashes. Okay, this is a 3-mana sorcery. Exile 2 target non-artifact creatures, and it deals 5 damage to you. Oh no! Why are we taking 5 damage? But it is a 2-for-1. Destroy exile 2 target. Actually, this is actually insane. So for 1.5 mana, we get to exile anything. But it has to be non-artifact creatures, because apparently we can't exile things that doesn't have a soul to it. That's a very interesting removal spell. Seeing your face as Bounce's profile picture always catches me off guard. Me too! I'm surprised I've been on the internet for so long, and Bounce is the first person who came up with this idea. Matty Batson, personally, I love the design of Damn. It's like also the first card that they have like basically a swear word on it. Black sorcery, destroy target creature. A creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated, but you can overload it to completely wipe off the face of the earth. I don't know. The only problem is I don't know if this is underrated. I think this is very accurately rated. Like, isn't Damn like just an auto include in every single Orzhov deck? You know, if it's an auto include, would not really call it a very underrated. Who does not play this card? In my opinion. We did Tragic Slip by Ducky. Love that card. Okay, I'm donating this one. I'm gonna give it to Bell with Abolish. You may discard a Plains card rather than pay Abolish's mana cost. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Basically, Force of Will for artifacts and enchantments. Except that has to resolve. Is it really played that much in Modern? Not Modern, but in like Magic in general, especially Commander. That's an auto include. It is when there is a black deck of like an Orzhov deck available, they do play this card. But like just right now, I don't think such deck exists. I think this saw some play. Can't remember where this saw play, but it was like somewhat recent. It's not super popular though. It's like a good card that doesn't have a home in the competitive formats. You could look at it that way. We did pest control. We did it. It's been done. Calling ritual. We did that one. But I think I saw you said we should donate it, so we're gonna donate to Chosen Juan with the casualties of war. Them casualties. Holy moly! Okay, 6 mana. You can choose one or more. Destroy the artifacts. The creature. Oh, sorry. Destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, target land, and target planeswalker. I have a feeling this is not underrated, to be honest. I'm sure everyone plays this thing. Oh, that one's okay. I like that one. This is probably going to be underrated. Just it barely has been out for a few days, so it hasn't been given the time. But unable to scream. Same thing as like Eaten by Piranhas. You enchant a creature and it loses all abilities, and it's a 0/2 toy. Yeah, that's it. It's a toy artifact creature token, and as long as the enchanted creature is face down, it can't be turned face up either. No special actions around here. Milo, I use the Bears. The Bears of Lit Yara on a Sliver deck. And it does pretty good. Gourmet Hunterette works on fishes too. Okay, this is a 3 mana saga. Chapter 1, create a 2/2 shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. That's good for the slivers. Chapter 2, any number of target shapeshifter creatures you control have base power and toughness 4/4. And also choose up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Each creature with power 4 or greater you control deals damage equal to its power to that permanent. Wow, all of them. They're just ganging up on it. You have a bunch of 4/4s in play. Very evil. What are you talking about? Is that even good at all, Ryan? I don't know if Merfolk Assassin is even... You know, there's some cards that are unplayable. They're very, 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 very unplayable. Okay, next up. Okay, I'll just give you credit for your card, King Ginger. Mentions unable to scream and then donates for it. Okay, we'll donate. How about we donate to Dinglebag? That's approach. Black Aura, enchant creature. It gets -X/-X, where X is the number of creature cards in its controller's graveyard. That's brutal. So basically, if most of your stuff is dead, well, even more stuff is going to be dead. It's all going down. Next, oh no, we have to have more freebies. Pedgeman, welcome to the show. Soul Partition. For its ability to be both a removal spell, but a way to reuse some creatures and permanents or save them from removal. Especially good with the adventure cards. Otherwise, Parting Gust. Nope, we didn't do this one. 2 mana, instant. Exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. Now, a spell cast by an opponent. Sorry, a spell cast by an opponent this way costs 2 more to cast. It's an interesting removal spell. It's like you remove it, but it's like soft removal. Next up, we got super chat from Bell. There is no way Abrupt Decay is getting on the show. I'm donating that one. Bell, Abrupt Decay. I don't know. You want to say it's like maybe it's underrated today. I think this is a heavily played card. I could be wrong though. Doesn't see play in like competitive formats anymore, but it was incredibly well played at the time. Commander players, what do you think? Abrupt Decay? It's underrated or accurately rated? I can't say this is one of the first things I would reach for if I was making a Golgari deck, but maybe I would. There are counter spells out there. Matt Spreads says, I don't know if it's underrated, but Defile is... Oh, we did Defile, though. It's rated, not under or over. Okay, that's good enough for me. But it's under $3. It's got to be underrated. We got, you know, the whole show, Bell. We want to showcase the cool, neat cards people have never seen before. You know how many people have seen an abrupt decay in their lives? 1 billion times. That's because it's accurately rated. Yeah, very, very accurately rated. So let's take a look. Witness protection. Oh, another card that I think only the Merfolk community have heard of. Blue Aura, enchanted creature, loses all abilities, and you are a green and white legitimate business person, citizen, and that's it. You're doing legitimate business from now on. None of that scummy business. None of that paying under the counter nonsense. Darkstar Ashura, thanks so much for your super chat. Unleash the Inferno. Possibly a 2-for-1. Possibly. We're going to take those chances. 4 mana instant, Unleash the Inferno, deals 7 damage to target creature or planeswalker. When it deals excess damage this way, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the amount of excess damage. It's like trample over into artifact and enchantment. Never even heard of such a thing. It's got enchantment, it's enchantment artifact. It's got disenchant trample. As weird as that is. Dress Down's a heavily played card between... I don't even think it's $3. I think it loses on all fronts. Dress Down is a super heavily played card. Very popular. I would count it otherwise. Okay, next up. We got Joe with Inferno. So this was Unleash the Inferno, and now we're just going to look at Inferno. 7 mana. It's an instant. It deals 6 damage to each creature and each player. That's actually pretty good. So if you're the type of deck that holds mana up and passes the turn a lot, you can really catch people off guard by instant speed. All right, Worldfire. Worldfire you instant speed. They're not prepared for that. Elixir with Hex. 6 mana, sorcery, destroy 6 creatures? That's actually really good value. That's incredible. It's basically for 1 black mana, destroy anything on the battlefield. Somehow I don't feel like I've ever seen this card before. It's like almost like a board wipe. Almost. Tommy Long wants Dust to Dust. Do you think it's above $3? It's okay. How about a Dust to Dust that's been in the washer a few times? It's whatever. Okay, 3 mana for a sorcery. Exile 2 target artifacts. It's good value. There needs to be 6 creatures. Yeah, but like, you know what? You're gonna play this in the environment that there are 6 creatures. You are right though. I sometimes forget about that. If there's no 6 creatures in play, you don't get to play your Hex. A few cards like that I keep forgetting about. John, thanks for the Taste of Death. It's not something I want to taste around here. Six mana for a sorcery. Each player sacrifices 3 creatures. You create 3 food tokens. Interesting. So this actually is quite good because of the fact that it's basically overall make people lose 9 things at once. Beanpot with Earthquake. You know what I really like Earthquake for? Just like killing people off. Like you can use it as a removal spell, but also it's a red X sorcery. It deals X damage to each creature without flying. So play flyers with this, and each player. What I really like about Earthquake is so you can like nail everything on the battlefield. But if your opponent's like at 3 life, you're just like, okay, Earthquake for 3. Done. I win the game. Jonathan Ward, Bushwhack. Green, a sorcery. Choose one. You search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put into your hand, then shuffle. Or target creature you control is going to get into a fight with another target creature you don't control. It's funny they have to specify that. there anything wrong with getting my creatures fighting my own creatures, or is that illegal? You can't have your creatures fight your own creatures. That's illegal. That's an illegal, I don't know, cockfighting thing you're doing here. They're my creatures. If I want my Pokemon to attack my Pokemon, I should be allowed. I should be allowed to do that. Legion's End, super popular card, not underrated at all. Very accurately rated. Abzo, Anoint with Affliction. We're at the point where I think everyone's got a card, so we gotta see. If you didn't get 2 cards, you can try to get 2 cards. Okay, 2 mana instant. Exile target creature if it has mana value 3 or less. It's got Corrupted. Exile that creature instead if its controller has 3 or more poison counters. Sounds really rare. I think if you have 3 or more poison counters, you have less to worry about than your creatures dying at this point. Christopher B with the Silent Departure. Everyone heard that like they can get a second card, so they're all jumping in that chat now. Silent Departure, blue. Return target creature to its owner's hand. It's got a flashback for 5. Oh! This is a new card. I didn't even know this card exists. That's the magic of this show. I think this would be a little bit more playable, like competitive playable, if it was like flashback 3 or 4. I might get behind this. Islarf, no card yet. Even by Promise, I started the show with that. Islarf. Sorry, Islarf. I basically took your card. It was my first card. Oh! Amphibian Downpour. 3 mana, Aura, Flash. Storm! Enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1. That is so weird. An Aura has Storm. So get your Amphibian Downpour tokens. Make sure you show up with them. The Marshall Coop. Isn't this like a really good card? This is a pretty heavily played card. White, Axe, sorcery. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. But if X is 5 or more, we destroy all other creatures. Get them out of here. Wipe them off the face of the earth. Just intimidate them with your soldiery presence. Null Elemental Blast. Is that a removal? I think it is a removal spell. Null Elemental Blast. For colorless. Counter target multicolored spell, or you can destroy target multicolored permanent. Them gold cards, they're going down. Finally. Hexenort, Culling Scales. Three mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy target non-land permanent with the lowest converted mana cost among non-land permanents you control. This is amazing. This is supremely Does anyone know? No, this is like another one of those cards. I'm like, does anyone know this exists? I guess at the beginning of your upkeep, destroy target non-land permanent with the lowest converted mana cost among non-land permanents in play. I guess the problem with Culling Scales is that you're gonna have to sacrifice it itself. Like you can only hit like basically 1 mana cards, right? Like 1 mana, 2 mana, and 0 mana cards. You can hit tokens, which is good. So it will destroy itself is the problem. I was like, wow, this is a really, really good card. And then I was thinking a little bit harder about this. This is gonna sack itself eventually. But you know, all good things have to come to an end at some point. Limited Estates with Battle of Bywater? Oh, the Battle of Bywater. Okay, this is a 3 mana sorcery. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Then we get food. Then create a food token for each creature you control. So it's like, basically, we're harvesting the opponent. It's like we went to war and it's like, all right, that's great. Now make sure that all those bodies are fresh. We have to basically throw them in the freezer. That's good food. Look at all these people. They're coming out. They're hungry. And there's another way you is this really what the hobbits do? The Tooks marched in with Pippin at their head. Merry now had enough sturdy hobbitry to deal with the ruffians. I don't remember that in Lord of the Rings where all the hobbits attacked another like village or something and then ate them. it's a pillaging effect. That's not how I'm interpreting it. If it was pillaging, we would be stealing their stuff, stealing their food. Instead, we're destroying creatures and then we eating them. That's how I'm interpreting this card. We did Curse of the Swine. Yeah, that's a good one. We did it. It was done. Exrillium, thanks for your super chat. Innocent Blood. To be honest, I don't think this is... I think this is an accurately rated card, to be honest. Black sorcery, each player sacrifices a creature. I think it's pretty heavily well played. It's straight from the books. What, that they ate their neighbors. When the hobbits, they like to farm, but they also like to harvest their neighbors. That's why no one goes to the Shire. Because when you go to the Shire, you may not come back. No one's ever gone to the Shire and back all in one shot. Islarf. Was it Illith? Something Harvester. There's a lot of harvesters in this game. We're looking for the Lilith. Is it Illithid? Illithid Harvester? Whatever the hell that is. 5 mana for a 4/4 horror. It's got plant tadpoles, blue X. Tap X target creatures. They don't untap during their controller's untap steps. I can count that as removal. That's like very, very soft removal. That's very soft removal. That's less soft than bounce spells. And when Illithid Harvester enters the battlefield, turn any number of target tapped non-token creatures face down. Oh, that's definitely a removal. And there are 2/2 horror creature tokens. Oh, that's got two decent effects. I like it. We got Kelduin with the Kai's Guile. You know, every single time we have a show like this, yeah, I think Kai's Guile is just phenomenal. Black, white. It's still not even reprinted. Black, white, 1 generic instant. Each opponent sacks a creature. Exile all cards from each opponent's graveyard. Create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying, or you gain 4 life. And you can entwine for 3 mana. And if you do that, choose all of them instead of choosing 2. Figure Poison is one of the most busted cards in competitive Magic. I'd be very surprised if Commander players never use that card. It's got to be weird. We got Chetty VT, Black Sun Zenith. Isn't that Black Sun's? This is a removal spell. Black Axe sorcery. Put X -1/-1 counters on each creature. Shuffle Black Sun Zenith into its owner's library. I like this card because you could shrink stuff to the point that most of your opponent's stuff die, but your stuff lives. But unfortunately, the stuff, you know, this is sort of what doesn't kill you doesn't necessarily make you stronger because you're basically dead. Periphery Nodes from Magic Vinyl. How many cards are called nodes? Nothing. This is the only nodes card in the entire game. It's a white enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy target creature with the least power. It can't be regenerated. If 2 or more creatures are tied for the least power, you choose one of them. When there are no creatures on the battlefield, sacrifice Periphery Nodes. So the cool thing about this card is you're not going to sack it like that other card, and it can stay on the battlefield until the entire board is wiped. What is it? Does it hit the... Yeah, the least power. The smallest. Survival of the fittest around here. Next up. Who has not got... Anyone out there not got anything? Benjamin, Sorceress Queen. Do we do this one? Sorceress Queen. My queen! Triple black for a 1/1. Tap target creature other than Sorceress Queen is a 0/2 until end of turn. This feels very blue. This does not feel like something black would do at all. So strange. Next super chat from Exrillium. Okay. How about Void Snare? You know what? I can get behind that one. 1 mana boomerang, more or less. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, all that stuff goes boing. The only thing that you can't hit is actually lands because it's non-land. But it's a blue, it's a sorcery. It's a sorcery, that's okay. It's okay. No problem if it's a sorcery. It still hits anything. Almond with Dispatch. Does the card have to be underrated in all formats? Ideally. If it's too hot in one format, I'm disqualifying it. We've been doing that all day. Oh yeah, this is a great card for the artifact decks. It's a white instant, tap target creature, Metalcraft. If you control 3 or more artifacts, you get to exile that creature. It's a disappearing trick. Is this underrated? I mean, maybe. I don't think anyone in their right mind should be playing with Royal Assassin these days, but then at that point, people have forgotten how good it is. I mean, it still does the thing. It's a 3-mana 1/1 human assassin, and then, you know, tap, destroy target tap creature. The Royal... do you know what? I'm just figuring this out now. The Royal Assassin mirror must have been a staring contest. It's like, if you use your Royal Assassin, my Royal Assassin eats up your Royal Assassin, then you can't use your Royal Assassin anymore. I just figured that out. And then the first person to tap someone else's Royal Assassin basically wins. John's like, okay, hear me out. The Stark of Wrath. 3-mana 2/2, human rogue. Destroy target artifact or creature. That permanent's controller gains control of Stark of Wrath. You know what? If you don't have any other artifacts or creatures, this plan is so crazy, it might work. So crazy. Can the Royal Assassin destroy itself? No, because at the time, so the correct order to put an ability on the stack is first you declare the ability, then you choose targets, then you pay the cost. At the time that you target Royal Assassin, it is not tapped. Paying the cost is last. So actually, no, you cannot. Oh, I'm always a huge fan of Decimate. Every single time it's on this show. It's a 4-mana sorcery, and you destroy target artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a land. It's incredible value. Now, the only problem with this card is it needs 4 targets, or you can't cast it at all. Stark of Wrath looks like Nicolas Cage. You know what? Let's get Stark of Wrath back here. I didn't want to bring it up, but you're right. So there's some or at least his cousin or something. Something to that effect. Static Prison is literally a tier 0 card in Modern right now. Seeing tons of play. It's one of the best cards, really. Ooh, Tastiest of Cakes, the most delicious. Isolate. Which is also one of the tastiest of removal spells. It's like another sort of prismatic ending type of card. It's a white instant, exile target permanent with converted mana cost 1. You can any permanent. You hit the creatures, you hit the artifacts, you hit them soul rings. Make them regret. What else do we have here? We did Decimate. We got that one. Banefire from Christopher B. Red X deals X damage to any target, but if X is 5 or more, it can't be countered, and the damage can't be prevented. To all those people. Meteor Storms, Avatar of Woe. I don't even remember what this card does. 8 mana for a 6/5. But if there are 10 or more creature cards in total in all graveyards, it costs 6 less to cast. So it can be like 2 mana. This was like the Murktide region of the time. It's got Fear. Tap, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Ha! Strictly better Royal Assassin. Strictly better. Does play removal count? I would say so, to be honest. Ronell is like stab wound. It's only a flesh wound. Only a flesh wound. 3 mana aura. Enchanted creature gets -2/-2, but at the beginning of the upkeep of that that creature's controller, that player loses 2 life. This is exactly the type of thing that what does not kill you is going to make you suck the life out of you. Lime says, while looking for wipes, cheap is it wipes, I found that Consuming Tide and Structural Assault are very affordable wipes. Not amazing, but they don't break the budget, and that's the point around here. So for 4 mana, we have a sorcery. Each player chooses a non-land permanent they control. Return all non-land permanents. Return all non-land permanents not chosen this way to their owner's hands. Then you draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than you. You have more cards than me? No, I get the value around here. Bounce everything else. Slaughter Pact probably is pretty underrated now. Like, every other pact is, like, heavily played. Why not this card? 0 mana, destroy target non-black creature. So you can tap, hey, look, Mom, no hands. I'm tapped out. But the Slaughter Pact, it can still play removal spells. Hibernation is specifically against green. Yeah, 3 mana, bounce all the green stuff back to hand. And Nan Charm? I don't know. Anna Charm? Oh, do you mean Abzan Charm? I'm starting to think you meant Abzan. Don't worry, I got you, Almond. I can read your mind. Oh yeah, you corrected yourself. Okay, for 3 mana, it's an instant. Exile target creature with power 3 or greater. You draw, or you could draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Or you can distribute 2+1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures. So I tell you what you can do to kill creatures. You can either just exile target creature with power 3 or greater, or if they attack, you can like distribute 2 counters on one of your creatures and block the damn thing. They'll never get through this. They'll never financially recover from Abzan Charm. We did Assassin's Trophy already. I disqualified it. Chosen Juan, engulf the shore. Yeah, I notice people in chat, like once somebody gets like 1 card out, they're like, oh yeah, that class of cards. Okay, engulf the shore, 4 mana, instant. This is instant speed. Return to their owner's hands all creatures with toughness less than or equal to the number of islands you control. With Great Island comes Great Wave. And then Ron with the exact same idea. Whelming Wave. Cyclonic Rift is too expensive with a Mask Wood Nexus. It's almost close. So with a 4 mana sorcery, return all creatures to their owner's hands, except the Krakens, the Leviathans, the Octopuses, and the Serpents. Somehow washes away the Merfolk. I don't really understand that. The Goth King. Pentarch Paladin. No, this is the wrong one. Pentarch Paladin. 5 mana 3/3 with flanking. As Pentarch Paladin comes into play, choose a color, and then white tap. Oh, destroy target permanent of the chosen color. It's basically sort of a makeshift, what's it called? Avatar of Woe. Yeah, we did Whelming Wave. Make waves in the chat. Yeah, make waves in the chat. I think I said we've done Assassin's Trophy. Thorn Mammoth from Christopher B. We got 7 mana 6/6 Trampler. But whenever the Thorn Mammoth or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Sounds like fighting words. Thorn Mammoth was the school bully and likes to bully around people. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for your suggestions. That's our show for today. And as usual, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who was here at that time. And of course, we got to thank everyone who supports the channel financially with money on Patreon and the members on YouTube. Not to mention the super chatters. And you know what? Even if your cards got sniped or I disqualified them, it meant that we donated those super chats so other people can be part of the show. And thanks, of course, to everyone who's here this wonderful day. People like the Goth King, Almond, Ryan Harris, Christopher B, Erland, Islarf, Evan. We got Beanpot for Ginka, Benovsky, Benjamin, Ron L, Jonathan, Jess, Meteor Storms, Ryan Harris, Tom Squires, Bell, Mellow, Magic Vinyl, Matt Spars, because you guys are all the show. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.